Patty Chanel here, StampPatties.com, stamping in my flops. Today I'm wearing my pink and black flops. I chose these with my little butterflies on them because they kind of remind me of today's project. So without further ado, let's get to our stamping project. All right, so today we are going to be focusing on two product bundles that are available starting on January 5th of 2021 in the Stampin' Up! January to June mini catalog. The product suite is called the Dandy Garden. In particular, we're going to be focusing on this stamp set called Garden Wishes and this one called Dragon Butterfly. And what we are going to be creating today is this adorable card for a true friends. You are an inspiration. This is not just any ordinary card. It is actually a bookmark card. So I'm going to show you step by step how to go about making this project. All right, here we go. So let me get my space cleaned out here. You will find on my website, StampPatties.com, I will have a blog post and you'll find the link in this YouTube video. Please make sure that you also follow that blog post because all of these dimensions will be on there, okay? So here we go. Here are my pieces with my scoreboard, and my card is 4 1/4 by 11. It is scored at 5 1/2. I'm just going to fold that in half and I'm going to set it aside for a moment. I've got my DSP. My DSP is actually, I lied, I'm not going to set it aside for a minute. I'm going to use the new Stampin' seal, and I'm going to put this piece of paper on just so I can get it out of my way. This is going to be placed on our project so that we have a 1/4 inch border on 3 sides. So 1/4 on the top, on the side, and on the bottom, okay? So we're going to set that aside. I have pre-stamped one of our things already. This is our Dragonfly, and part of the Dandy Garden, I think it's called, no, Dragonfly Garden, is a coordinating punch. So I've stamped and I've punched this out. I stamped it in Bumblebee ink and I've punched it out and I've added a couple of baby dimensionals to the back, but I'm going to set that aside for just a moment. And what I'd like to get started on is the pocket that our bookmark will be going into. Our bookmark is going to be a layered piece with Razzleberry and Whisper White. This is a scrap. We'll come back to that in just a minute. But my pocket is going to be made from a piece of white cardstock that is 4 1/4 by 5 1/4. It is going to be scored at 2 inches and at 4 inches. Okay, and then I'm going to get my scoreboard out of the way so I have more room in which to work. Okay, the next step is not difficult. You're just going to need a pencil and a ruler. So I have my Stampin' Up! Ruler. Now I just don't know what I do with my pencil. I got one. All right, so from the bottom on the side that has that little 1/4 inch score, I'm going to measure up 2 1/2 inches. And I'm just going to make a little dot at my 2 1/2 inches. And then from my center score to that little dot, I am going to make a diagonal line, and I like to have nice straight edges. So I'm going to do a very light pencil mark. And then I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Trimmer, and I am going to cut on the underside of that pencil mark so that you can't see it. So I'm going to go a tiny bit over. I'm going to put that line in the channel of my trimmer, and I'm going to trim that off. So you see I removed the pencil line. You can't see it. Now the reason that I did that is because the way we are going to fold this pocket, this is our cut side. We're going to fold it like this. And this piece is going to get folded again. And this will become the pocket for our bookmark. So I'm going to adhere it with some of our Stampin' Tear Tape. So take the tear tape, put a little piece here, and then we need to not only put this, we don't want this flap to get glued down because we want to be able to slide our bookmark in, but we also need to put a little bit on the bottom so that our flap will be closed. We don't need a lot, but I'm just going to put just a little piece of tear tape. Then using my pick tool, I am going to get the tape, top layer of the tape off of my project. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to adhere it shut. Okay, so there we go. We have our pocket. All right, using Rich Razzleberry ink and the grading that says "For a True Friend," I'm going to very nicely, gently stamp that down here at the bottom. Okay, I'm good with that. I'm going to set this aside for a moment because now what we're going to do is we're going to start building our bookmark. Okay, again, using the Razzleberry ink and using the echinacea, also known as coneflower images, which is from the Dragonfly Garden stamp set. I'm going to ink this up in my Razzleberry. And I'm going to get most, if not all, of this image on my bookmark. Whoop. Perfect. I'm happy with that. Okay, so I'm going to get that out of the way. And the only other thing I want to do to this is I want to add a little bit of the yellow. I don't have a blend that is Bumblebee, so I'm using the Daffodil Dark because it's close enough. And I'm just going to do the center of those flowers. And a little bit of this, I think it's like a chrysanthemum down here, just to add a little bit of that yellow into the project, okay? All right, so now, again, using my Stampin' Seal, I can add this to my Razzleberry bookmark. 1/4-inch border all the way around. I'm gonna bring in a handheld hole punch and punch a hole right there. I am using the crinkled white, Whisper White crinkled ribbon, and I'm just going to cut a small piece and I'm going to fold it in half, and I'm going to feed it through the hole by the folded end so that I can make a loop. Then I'm going to push the cut end through that hole and pull it so it kind of makes like a little slip knot. Okay, so as you can see, it's coming along. So this is going to fit perfectly inside of our little pocket. So I am going to add some Stampin' Seal Plus on the back of my pocket. I'm going to bring back my card front, and this is designed so that it will leave a 1/4-inch border, just like the DSP. So I've got a 1/4 inch on the bottom and on the side. So as you can see, we're almost there. As I told you, through the magic of TV, I had already stamped and punched a dragonfly. That dragonfly is with our Bumblebee ink. I put 2 of our little baby dimensionals. I'm going to fold my dragonfly so that his wings are popped up a tiny bit. I'm going to go ahead and remove my pieces of paper on my dimensionals. I'm going to stick that right here on my card. Okay, one last step, my friends. Okay, we are going to stamp our image that is going to be colored and cut out. I am going to be stamping with our Tuxedo Black Memento ink. Okay, and I'm using that because I'm going to be using our stamping blends. So what better way to get really nice color? You have to use the Tuxedo Black. All right, I'm pretty happy with that. So I'm going to start my blending process, and I'm going to be using Old Olive Light and Dark. So I am going to use, for the center of these dandelion leaves, these dandelion greens, I'm using the Old Olive Dark to kind of enhance and give a little bit of dimension to those leaves. Okay, And then for the remainder of the flowers, I'm going to use, for the remainder of the leaves, I'm sorry, I'm going to use the light. And I don't even care if I am in the lines or not, because for two reasons. Number one, I want it to kind of look like a watercolor. And number two, it does have a coordinating die. So we are going to take this image and we are going to cut it out. So you can see that I'm kind of just being haphazard with this because, like I said, I want it to be like a watercolor. So if it's not completely in the lines, I am okay with that. Okay, so now to get the color on my dandelions themselves, I'm going to bring back my raspberry ink and I'm going to use this, looks like a globe. So I'm inking this up and I'm going to stamp right over my flower. Ooh. Okay, and I'm going to stamp over this flower and this flower because remember I said they're going to be getting cut out. So rather than coloring those with my blends, I'm using that instead. So I don't know if you've gotten to see yet, but this is our new little mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I love it because it fits perfectly in my video screen. So it has mini cutting pads and base blocks. So I just need the die. All right, so the die is going to come from this garden set. And of course, Patty, I made my paper too wide to go through there, but don't panic because I've got a pair of scissors here. I'm just going to cut some off of the sides so that I can fit it into my machine. Okay. Here we go. So I'm going to sit it on my platform. I'm going to put my die on there face down like I would if I was using the big machine. And I'm going to put my other cutting pad on the top. And I'm going to go ahead and wheel this through. Whoop. And this is actually so smooth, so easy. One time through, my image is completely cut out. And I don't have this big, heavy, bulky machine to get out of the way. So here we have our finished image. Where's my card? It's right here. So we're almost done, my friends. So all that's left to be done is to put some dimensionals on the back of this project. Now keep in mind, this is going to be popped right up here on the pocket. So do not put any dimensionals on the big globe or on this right-hand one. Don't go any further than this one up here. So I've got two there, and I think I can fit another one here. Yes. So let's peel those off. Let's put that on. And voila. In no time at all, you have created not only a card to send to a true friend who inspires you in some way, but he or she has something to remember you by in this bookmark. So you can write on the back of the bookmark what the occasion was. You can also write a personal note inside the card. I hope that you have enjoyed this. Please be sure to visit www.stamppatties.com. And while you're at it, please make sure that you click down in the right-hand corner. Please make sure that you subscribe to my channel and that you share this video with everyone to let them know how much you enjoyed it. Until next time, happy stamping. Remember, you are the flip to my flop. Have a great day, everyone.